Hi, I'm Jennifer Driscoll.
And I'm Chuck Driscoll.
We originally started out in Coronado for 3 months, moved to Playa El Rompillo. We thought we were going to move to Volcan because we are from the mountains in Montana. And we happened to find a place in Playa El Rompillo on the beach, which I'd always wanted to live on the beach. And it was fabulous. And then after a couple of years, we decided that we wanted to move somewhere else that was more Panamanian. And we found a great little house on Facebook Marketplace that had an incredible rent.
And a pool.
And a pool.
And a big yard for our pets, our 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Mature fruit trees, just a great place. And super, super affordable rent. But it is an older house. And as an older house, that means there's a lot of work that we have to do with it, which we're fine with that. It also didn't come with appliances. We had to buy all of our own appliances, but it's been worth it for the low rent.
And the cost of the appliances is significantly lower here than it was in the US. We bought a whole laundry list of things, including a refrigerator, stove, washing machine, microwave, television, for less than we would have paid for just the refrigerator in the US. It's a Panamanian style house, not an American style house, but it's got some wonderful Panamanian features that make living down here in this area. I understand why Panamanians build the houses they do.
The kitchen is very small. It has some cabinets underneath, which is great. So we put in a lot of shelves. We bought shelf units because I like to cook. So I wanted to have all my spices and things like that. I need my dishes. So we bought shelf units so that we could put all of that. We had room for all that stuff.
And that's where the refrigerator is. But the stove is outside on our veranda. And so we have an outdoor kitchen with a stove and appliances that sit on the counter out there. And our barbecue grill is out there. And that's where we eat our meals. We have just a simple little table and chair set that we bought. It's all we need. And it's very easy and casual. There is a formal dining room that we almost never eat in.
Which is unusual in Panama, because usually almost all dining is outside, or they just have a tiny little table inside. Most people do live outside because the weather here is so nice. You know, outside of the rain, and then you usually have a covered porch. You see people all the time sitting in front of their houses, watching people, talking to neighbors, kids playing in the street. It's just a very relaxed, easy atmosphere out here. There's cows and horses and chickens all over the place. Most of the time we spend outside. The rest of our time we spend in our little, we call it the casita. And this is where our chairs, our TV, and everything is. And this is where we spend our evenings if we're going to watch anything. The house we use for showering and grabbing stuff out of to cook. We hardly spend any time. We sleep in there. So it's basically just a big storage unit.
Well, and the house gets warm. It heats up during the day and stays hot. But when we go out on the veranda, we have these breezes that just blow through. We're under a cover, so we've got shade. And that's important for me because I get sunburned pretty easily. She gets tanned, I get burned, and it's not fun to get burned. So I stay out there most of the day. The other time in the casita, we have windows on 3 sides in the door, and the breezes come through here. It's very comfortable.
We use fans most of the time. The only time we use air conditioning is when we go to bed at night. The rest of the time it's all fans. We've gotten really used to the heat here, even though we're from Montana where it's cold.
Our electric bills are very reasonable. All we really have to do is power the refrigerator, freezer, and the pool pump, and lights. So we pay $60 to $70 a month for electricity. All of our cooking is, except for the microwave and the hot pot, we cook with gas, and propane is subsidized. You can buy a big canister of propane for $5, and that'll last you quite a while. Well, our electric bill is $80 a month.
Under 80.
Under 80. Our internet is about $80 a month. Our rent, I don't want to give a specific number, but it's very low. And it's lower than we paid when we were at the beach. It's lower than we paid in Coronado. And it's very reasonable. I mean, we had to put some money in to get our appliances and everything, but it's affordable enough that we've made some improvements and repairs basically out of our own pockets, just to make it what we want.
We've refinished cabinets and doors and things like that, and upgraded some things. Like it didn't have shower heads, was one of the things. So we had to buy all new shower heads. We put in, we don't have hot water here, which we don't need it. It's just an added expense that we really don't need. So, I mean, and we're used to now living that way. We live a very typical Panamanian type of lifestyle. We live in a little town on the outskirts of a little town called Guararé. It is super convenient. We are literally less than 10 minutes from Las Tablas, which has major grocery stores. It has Domino's Pizza, McDonald's. It's got just about everything we need. And then 40 minutes away, we've also got Chitre, which is a big town. And there you can find almost anything you want. So we're really close to major amenities. We do go to Price Mart about once a month, and that's about an hour and a half away in Santiago. But we're so close to everything here, and we're so close to beaches and our friends, and it's an amazing place to live.
And we really love living out here in the Azuero Peninsula. There's a vibe out here, if you know what I mean. It's chill, it's relaxed, it's muy tranquilo, as the Panamanians would say. And we enjoy it. We're at that point in our life where that's really nice. And frankly, that reminds us of home in many ways back in Montana when we lived there. People in Montana take things at a different pace, and they're friendly and civilized, and that's the way Panama is. And even more so out here on the Azuero. We've been to many places, but the Azuero is kind of a special place to us. And we've got a lot that we can do. We were up in Las Minas, which we just did that. We went to a finca, which is a farm that was run by this 80-year-old farmer and his 70-year-old wife. And what they've done with the land is, it's the way people have lived here for centuries. They do vanilla, Panamanian vanilla, which is different and special. And we went and enjoyed the day up there. But we go out to Pedicee and go out to Isla Iguana. And she loves to go snorkeling.
I do.
But we go whale watching out there. We know the boat driver. And we go out with friends. We have enough friends here. We have a pretty good circle of friends that, like minds, seem to congregate in this area. And so we're friends with people from Scotland, Canadians, Americans. We have friends back from Playa El Rompio that we still visit with a lot. We get out and ride our little motorcycles out to the beaches. The other day, I took a friend out. In an hour and a half, we got 3 different beaches, all riding the back roads and just looking at the ocean. That's the whole point of the destination. Take a nice, fun, relaxing ride through the tree-lit, tree-lined roads and stop and look at the ocean. And then go to another, do it again, and then go do it again. And that's how we spend our time.
We live in a Panamanian neighborhood, and like the lady next door watches our animals when we go places. We'll all go and we're going next weekend. We'll take a trip out to Torrio, a whole bunch of us, and we'll stay for a weekend. We go out to Isla Iguana together. We play volleyball in the pool at different people's houses. We have a lot of potlucks, so there's a lot of cooking.
We're going to have one here today, and you'll meet and see a lot of our friends. It's very welcoming here. The Panamanian neighbors, we're the only Americans in this little neighborhood. They all wave and smile. They're friendly to us. We're very blessed with the friendship. That's important. And it's very convenient for us. Like Jenny said, we can be in Las Tablas in 10 minutes or in Guararé in 5. There's so many destinations. In Las Tablas, we went to the carnival and saw that giant celebration. A little bit of that, it's more than this old guy can take. We went in and saw it, but it was exciting.
And we feel very welcome and very, very safe here. We have never felt uncomfortable, unsafe. It's never been a problem here. The food here is amazing. There's fresh fruit everywhere. And all these little roadside stands along the side. And it's so cheap. It's unreal what you can buy, and so fresh and so much better tasting. It hasn't been sitting on a shelf for days or months or anything. It's all really fresh, good fruit and vegetables. They bring them in from Cerro Punta, which is out in the mountains, within a few days. And it's all really fresh. Going out to dinner, we can go to a fonda, have beer, a couple beers, have dinner, and it won't even be $20. It is so much cheaper. And in most of the places, you can get your jubilado discounts in any of the big places, which we only do it at the big places, not at the little mom and pops or fondas or anything. But even McDonald's gives you a discount here if you ask for it. It's great. It really saves money.
And we have a lot of fun places we like to go. The Las Tablas Brewery always has a happy hour on Wednesday from 4 to 6 or something like that. And you get craft beer for $2 a glass. You get a pizza for $6. I mean,
and you get all your friends.
And you get all your friends.
So we meet a lot of people there. I mean, they'll come and visit us. I mean, we'll just say, hey, we're going to the brewery today. Anybody want to come? And they all just flock in. It's kind of fun. It's neat. We also go to an American style breakfast pretty much every Sunday that is right on the beach here. American style food, which is kind of fun. It's really different when you go out to dinner in these places, because if all the tables are full and there's a couple of empty seats at the table, you just join them. You don't I mean, you're not waiting for a table. You know, when you see a table of 4 and there's only 2 there, and that's how you meet people here. And we have met so many good people just in restaurants, and everybody gets up and talks to each other.
And I want to expand on that. There's another restaurant that we go to quite a bit. The people are friends of ours, and they do a Texas barbecue, okay, with the brisket or the ribs or the chicken. Well, and she said we're going to Toreo. We go out and eat there at their restaurant, but they also arrange trips. And they're the ones who are arranging this trip to Toreo. And we're going to go with them. We've been twice to Toreo. Toreo is so beautiful. It's on the Azuero, but it's on the opposite side, on the sunset side. We're on the sunrise side. They're on the sunset side. But for us, where we are, to get there, we have to get off the Azuero Peninsula, go to Santiago, and then take Atalaya Road back out to there. But there's so many trips and places to go. We've scratched the surface, but just here in Panama, there's so many places we went. We've been to Bocas del Toro, Boquete, David, but we haven't been to Costa Rica yet. We're gonna go. We went for her birthday this year. We went to Cartagena, Colombia, and we spent a week there. And we're gonna go back there. We had a great time, and we had quite an adventure too.
Yeah,
but
flights are cheaper from here. Panama City is about 4 hours from here, and that's what we usually fly out of. There is an airport in Chitre you can fly out of, but it's very limited. It's like one flight every 2 or 3 days. So we just drive to Panama City. There's hotels that you can leave your car at. You pay to leave your car there. They shuttle you back and forth to the airport, and it's really easy. Flights are a lot cheaper here. You can go to Colombia or any place like that. The US is still pretty kind of expensive when we go back, but we still get a discount.
We are close to so many things in the Caribbean and to Mexico. It's cheaper for us to go to Mexico from Panama than it is from the US.
We have been to the emergency room twice, and the first time we didn't know what we were getting into, obviously. I mean, we didn't know what was wrong with him. We went to the emergency room. They took him in immediately. They took me in and asked me all the questions about what medications he takes, what his symptoms are, and everything like that. They got an English interpreter on the phone so that they made sure that they got all the correct information. And in the meantime, they're giving him all the tests. He had EKGs and blood tests, and we were there for about 4 hours. And when we were getting ready to leave, I thought, uh-oh, how much? And just held my breath. And she said, nothing. This is the public hospital.
In the public hospitals, we have our cedulas, our e-cedulas, which is extranjero cedula, and we are Panamanian residents, official, with an cedula. That qualifies us to go to the public hospitals. We didn't think it all through completely. I just needed some help. It turned out I got a bee sting. I must have had an allergic reaction. I had fevers and sweats, and I was in bad shape and getting worse all the time. Kind of that anaphylactic that isn't that what they
But
call
it looked like a heart attack is what it looked like, and that's what they were treating him for. So he had every blood test, everything under the sun that they could do. And to walk out of there without paying a cent was unbelievable. And the care was amazing.
I've had to be in the hospital in the US, and I never got that kind of rapid response and thorough care. I'm covered under Medicare, but in Panama, I have a Medicare Advantage plan that I got through Jackie Lang's insurance broker. And I can use that at the private hospital in Chitre. And so if I need something that's an emergency situation, but it's going to be expensive, like heart attack, stroke or something, instead of going to the public hospital here, I would go to that private hospital. But the agreement is that I won't have to pay for it first, that hospital will bill Medicare Advantage directly.
I did have cataract surgery here in Chitre, and with a private hospital, private doctor. It cost about $6,000. I got the best lenses you can get. I don't need glasses anymore, which I've worn since I was 16. I see better than I ever have, and it was amazing, and it was a good experience. So before we decided to come, we knew we were going to take a trip to Panama to come see what it was like. And it was during the end of COVID. We couldn't get a tour. So
the tours were stopped for a while.
Yeah, they were stopped. So we bought Jackie's guide. And we looked at the guide and we saw some of the requirements that are needed and started working on all the stuff that the guide told us to do. We got an attorney. With our attorney that was in the guide, we emailed her all of our documents. So everything was right there. We knew we had everything we needed. And then we physically hand-delivered her the paperwork. Our trip was in June. August 31st, we landed in Panama with 7 suitcases, one of them completely filled with cat and dog stuff, a very, very large dog, and my cat in his kitty backpack. We came here on our own because we feel very comfortable driving in other countries. We traveled in an RV all over the United States for about 3 years before we came to Panama. So we're very comfortable driving in different situations. We've driven in Mexico and stuff. So we didn't have any problem with that. So we didn't mind doing our own tour. We do have friends that are private guides for Jackie, and everything that we have heard from the people that have gone on those tours have been super positive. And we've talked to a lot of people that have been on the tours, because we do speak at the luncheons sometimes, and they are all just thrilled with what they get on the tour.
Yeah, some people want to do the bus thing. Some people want to drive on their own and make their own choices. Either way, Jackie's got you covered.
Mm-hmm.
The relocation tours, it's a bargain. It really is. It introduces you in a very useful, friendly, relaxed, informative way. I don't know of a whole lot of other places where it's set up so well for you.
I think it saved us more money than it cost us.
I think it did too.
In mistakes, especially because we were so comfortable and so confident knowing that all of our paperwork was in order, that we were doing everything the right way. And we frankly had no trouble. I mean, we had our temporary visa within the first couple weeks that we were here.
And all of our friends that are down here, each one of them has their own story, how they've been here. Some have been here for years. Some have just gotten here. So it's kind of fun exchanging your stories. Everybody has a different wrinkle, and it's ours is our story, and it's peculiar to our personalities and our timing and our situation. But it worked. It worked very well, and
we don't ever want to move back.
This is home.
We love Panama, and we can have a quality of life here in Panama that we could not have in the United States. We would have to be working. We could not just be retired. So stop watching these videos, get off your butt, and come join us. See you in Panama.